My name is Chris Claremont. You're watching Omni X-Men.
Yes. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the channel. My name is Justin, aka No Good Comics, and you are watching Omni X-Men. Tonight, we got our Mutant Bible here, the New Mutants edition. If you guys have been following along, you know that we've been breaking down for season 5 New Mutants, Chris Claremont's run, along with Bob Claremont and other amazing artists that we've been covering over the last few months, really. So, Omni X-Men. We're breaking down Annual 1, New Mutants Annual 1, which I have recently picked up a copy myself. Still need to find a newsstand copy, but for now, for $1.50, I will take that all day. So, of course, with this show, it is not just me. It is also my good friend and co-host John from John's Comics with Kids. John, what?
Doom, you saucy wench. Oh, sorry. Hey. It's not Doom tonight. No Doom, no more Doom. Less Doom.
Doom on the brain. Can never go wrong there.
Doom. How you doing?
Good, man. How's it going?
I had a week off, right? Had a little break there.
Yeah, a little thrown off here. I almost forgot where my intro music was.
And then we're on next week, and then we're off again. So there's a little we're in the on-off. We're messing with the water. We're turning cold, hot.
Yeah,
hot.
Exactly. This is that time of year. It gets a little crazy for both of us. But man, good to see you. Happy to be streaming again on a fine Tuesday evening. And we got some rock and roll issue here tonight.
We did.
I'm into. So.
Yeah, I should have come with like a leather strap around my neck with a studded necklace is what I really needed here.
Missed opportunity, John.
I won't say that there are people in the community that didn't tell me to do that. Like Magic Lasso in particular had big ideas for me tonight, and I failed him completely.
Love it. Well, we are going to kick this off. We have a special guest, and it is a good friend of ours. It's someone who practically is part of the show. He's with us each and every time that we stream. Always a great supporter of the channel, and also just a diehard mutant brethren that we'll bring on here. So our good friend, Chett, aka Chett Knight.
Emphasis on the
dude.
So fellas, good to see you.
Right back at you, man. This is a perfect issue. I'm glad you picked this one because after reading it and knowing your love for music and metal, especially like in rock and roll, like this was, can't wait to dive into with this one. So, man, thanks for being here as always.
Thanks for the invite.
Absolutely. And of course, if you are here watching right now, or if you're just watching the replay, make sure you are subbed up or following Chett. I put his Instagram link in the description below. Chett is always posting the fanciest of fancy, mostly 9/8s, maybe some 9/2s to 9/4s and 9/6s, but mostly 9/8s, and really just amazing mutant books amongst other things.
The master of the yellow label, man, I'll tell you.
Oh yeah, the John Byrne.
Thank you. I try.
And of course, just a reminder for everybody, if you're not following John, make sure you do so. As John mentioned, we will be on his channel next week, Tuesday, 9:00 Eastern, streaming for the next set of issues, which I believe we're on back on New Mutants 21. Is that right?
No, the next episode is a Marvel team up, I believe.
That's right. And then we go
a Spider-Man issue.
Nice.
Spider-Man and Cannonball.
I remember that book.
Even better.
Let's see, Marvel team up 149.
Oh,
yes.
Second to last.
Yes, sir.
So make sure you're subbed up to John. I put his information in the description below. And one other thing, make sure you stick around for after we break down this issue, because we will have our questions that are based on last issue that we had broken down. So be ready for that and, answer some trivia, maybe get your name on the wheel to potentially win something big from us at the end of the season, which falls around June. We're always doing a big giveaway. And the biggest giveaway that we'll have this time around is from our friend from Rosko from Geek Out with Rosko. He is our featured artist of the season. So we appreciate you, Rosko. Rosko's information is in the description below as well. Definitely check him out. But we will be raffling off a piece of artwork of his that he's actually working on for the show. So, if you're new, this is you can get your name on the board and potentially win that amongst other fun gifts. So let's dive into the comments real quick, and then we will then we'll grill Chett a little bit with some knowledge. We got a lot of people, a lot of comments here already. We got my man James Las Cruces hanging out nice and early in the chat as usual, tailgating over an hour and a half beforehand. We appreciate you, brother. We got Caroline, Lady F, in the chat as well. What is going on, Caroline? Thanks for hanging out. There he is again, back to back. Now, an hour later, he swings back through again. We appreciate you, brother.
Can't hold him down.
No, you cannot. We got my man Matt in Clemson. What is up, Matt? Going to be streaming live with him tomorrow night. He'll be doing a live for the first time, I believe, over on Colossus Collectors channel. A few of us going to hang out, so check that out for sure. Yeah, Johnny Boy's got his shirt. I have my shirt. I just keep wearing hoodies because it's so cold. So once the hoodie season's gone,
yeah, I mean it's cold.
I'll be I'm in a basement, so it's even colder now.
I was sad I couldn't be there. They were live last night. It was a great show. I caught the end of it because I was streaming, but the Council of X was both in session.
I was bouncing back and forth because you guys both had some great stuff going on.
It was good stuff.
Let's see. We got Cliff on Comics in the chat. What is going on, Cliff? He says, "Why does everyone have a fancy stream when I have to do when I have to do one? I don't know what you mean. Oh, you mean just at the same time,
like timing? Yep.
Sorry, man. Yeah,
he wants to watch, but he's busy. He's a content creator. He's a hardcore content creator.
It comes with the territory, my friend. We got Chop and Drop. How you doing, Chop? Hope all is well, man. Good to see you. Let's see. Scrolling through, we got our good friend Magic Lasso, aka Ryan, giving all the credits to the Diana Rosses and Rachel Dinners of the world, and the man Chett. That's right. We're gonna rock and roll for sure. We got Adam Make Stuff Up. What is up, Adam? Hanging with us.
I love his name.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it flows. It's easy to remember. I'm with you. Let's see. We got my man Bobby De La Ghetto Station. Bobby, my friend.
Senor, ¿cómo estás?
Sorry about your Chiefs, but hey, I'm gonna have Bobby on my channel next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday for an origin of his.
Oh, that's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, that's
you know what? If I can, a while ago, I won something. It was Omni X-Men. The prizes when we did them last time.
Last season, yeah.
I won something from Bobby. It was a Wolverine book that was drawn, and you can pull the claws up.
Oh, yeah.
But in that package, this man packed me a bunch of Kansas City Chief napkins and coasters. and when I tell you...
That's hilarious.
I tell you, I remember when I saw them, I said, is he joking? It was like I was severely offended.
He is not joking. He is just celebrating good times for last year.
I was like, this stuff can't be part of anything I own. So I gracefully, Bobby, I'm sorry, I would have sent it back, but a garbage was closer and less expensive to ship. So the sanitation is taking care of your team.
He used it for packing, he used it to protect your book. So there you go. That is hilarious. We have our good friend Candace Barbosa in the chat. Candace, always a pleasure. Thanks for hanging with us. Let's see. We have, Saucy Wench, Ryan says here. Hashtag. Let's see. Scrolling through. We have Wraith 1701. Good evening. Let's see. We got my man Tony, Old Wolf, in the chat. How you doing? He says, I'm doing my homework. All right.
There you go, Tony.
Always good to see you, my friend. Our 2 sips. Yeah, I'm sipping.
I got my shot.
Oh, you guys are awful. Hey, come on now. Stop. Come on.
Doing water.
Come on. All right. That's what's sipping tonight.
Chet, that's why we bring you on, to kind of balance this out,
Can you even see one of me, or
I'm just having water. I'm hydrating, man.
Okay, well then, John, you got to pass tonight. I'm sorry I picked on you.
Don't fall for that. Chet, don't fall for that. This is apple juice.
I don't believe either of you. Those glasses are way too fancy for apple juice.
Apple juice is that color. Let's see. So I'm scrolling through a lot of people in the chat. Everybody's saying hi.
Did we say hi to Conlon yet? I can't remember.
I'm not there yet. Oh, here he is. There he is. I'm scrolling.
He's our Marvel team up guy next week. So he's on the show next week.
He just picked that book up actually recently. He said he's ready to go. So good to see you, Stevie. Appreciate you, brother, for hanging out with us always. Let's see. Scrolling. People saying hi to each other, and see Johnny Boy in the chat. Forgot
Yes,
you're
there's
red.
only one issue next week. Just the one. It's not a double. It's just the team up. Yep.
Yeah, John set it up where he only has to do one every.
I made sure that he's doing all the doubles and I'm doing all the doubles. He does 4-hour streams. I do it 45 minutes. It all works out.
Yeah, the entertainment's there. Let's see. Yeah, Matt's his first time live tomorrow night. Cool, very cool. Looking forward to it. Yeah, and I agree, Bobby. Fastball special, that like button. I like that. I like it. Yeah, it's still scrolling. Everybody's saying hi. Okay, I'm down at the bottom. It says, is anyone else enjoying alcoholic beverage other than me? Chop and Chop. No, man, I'm with you.
Man, the truth has fallen out of the bottle.
Yeah. Reading double in a single stream. Love it. Yes. Yep. Exactly. All right, gang. Let's get into some of the questions here because we gotta grill Chett a little bit before we really dive into
we
things.
do.
So John,
I'm gonna do a little. Oh goodness, I'm kicking my table. I'm gonna do a little this or that for Chett. Right. We got a lot of New Mutants discussions going on here lately. So McLeod or Bill Sienkiewicz?
You're gonna ask me that?
You're a traditionalist. I don't know if you feel like McLeod would rank above. I mean, I respect it.
Oh, it's McLeod.
Okay, so it is McLeod. Okay.
Oh, it's absolutely McLeod.
I had a great conversation with Magic Lasso on the drive home from work today, and he was saying the same thing, and that Bill Sienkiewicz coming onto this book stopped him from collecting comics for a good while. He was like, I don't want anything to do with comics because of this guy. And I'm giving away his hot take.
I'll be honest.
He said, "Don't tell anybody this." I'm telling everybody.
I'm with Lasso on that. It's not that it stopped me entirely because nothing's gonna stop me from collecting, I guess. But I was a little turned off when I first saw the Sienkiewicz stuff.
A lot of people felt this way, and you're not alone. And even Bill said he didn't want to do he didn't want to do regular Uncanny X-Men because he was fearful of how the audience would respond versus a newer book like New Mutants.
Yep.
Okay. Got blocked, John. Oof.
I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. I thought it was a good discussion. It got me thinking a little bit, right? Okay, so I know where you are on some of the bigger guys, but let's compare then McLeod, Paul Smith.
I'll still stay with McLeod, Paul Smith. Okay. I think Paul Smith was decent, but I think I preferred Sienkiewicz's creativity over Paul Smith.
Okay. All right, McLeod, Mark Silvestri.
McLeod, Silvestri.
I want to see how far we can ride the McLeod train.
Silvestri just a little bit lower than him.
Wow.
I'm staying with McLeod.
By the way, Silvestri is going to be at Terrificon, Chett. I hope you can make it.
I'll be there.
Yeah, they just announced it.
It's got to be McLeod.
Now I'm going to throw in a different guy, McLeod, Gene Colan. Ooh. I loved Gene Colan back in the Daredevil era, but I don't know.
That's exactly where my head is right now. It's Daredevil.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll say it like this. I'm used to McLeod, but damn you both. I'll say Conlon because his Daredevil stuff was really, and I was used to McLeod anyway. McLeod's been a staple in my X-Men and New Mutants reading. So in an effort to change it up and see something new, I'll give it to Conlon there.
Okay, all right. And then now we're getting to the bigger guys. Obviously, what about Colan versus I can't. I'm not gonna give him Byrne. That's too easy. That's too easy.
He's never gonna give me the satisfaction that he knows exactly what I'm gonna say.
What about Jim Lee?
Well, Jim Lee is one of my favorite of all time, so I'm going Jim Lee.
All right. What about Lee and Cockrum?
That's totally unfair.
I'll say you get a corner of here eventually.
Uncalled for. Because I figured that your trifecta is Byrne, Cockrum, Lee, right? That's the triangle of life.
You know too much. You should be executed.
All right.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that question?
Jim Lee versus oh my gosh.
You said Cochran.
Cockrum,
Yeah.
sorry, Cockrum. Yeah.
What's up, Marcus?
2 men enter, 1 man leave.
Oh my God, I'm saying Jim Lee.
All right.
That hurts.
Wow.
But hey, you know, somebody's gotta be second place, right? Somebody's gotta be under Byrne, right?
Yeah, it's Jim.
All right. And I didn't throw Neil Adams in there. Obviously, he is an X-Men artist.
I would have logged off.
Okay.
Ryan is asking. He's asking for Gene Colan or Neil Adams.
Oh goodness.
Oh, I'm going Neil Adams on that one.
On that one, I think too. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. I put you through a gauntlet there of artists.
I'm surprised there's not water dripping off my head.
We're gonna put a bag over your face and water torture.
All right. A quick hello to our friend Gore Vidal. He says it was complete opposite for me. Bill Sienkiewicz was a force of nature on this book for me. Yeah,
I'm gonna get that. That's right around where he started collecting.
Ooh.
Well, I know he grew up reading a lot of books from Europe, so he was reading a lot of books, you know, in other languages with other artists doing the interiors. So I think he might have come to, you know, American comics a little differently.
Okay.
Sorry, Ryan said Lalandra hair or Storm Mohawk.
That's not it. Come on, nobody likes the bird hair. Get out of here.
They're both weaves.
Right.
Taylor Swift.
I like this combination of Taylor versus Olivia, but I'm going Taylor. I'm going Taylor on that one.
These
I'm going Olivia.
Let's see. We got my man Kenneth Bird in the chat. What is going on, Kenneth? Again, reminder to everybody, if you're not following Chett, make sure you do so. I put his link in the description below. Nice job answering there, Chett.
Thank you. It was very, very. It was one of those.
I'm going to throw you one more. Chop and Drop had thrown this in here. He said, because I know you have a quick answer for this. What was the book that got you into comics? And I think about I'm thinking X-Men book, but yeah, what was the
I'm surprised neither of you remember that.
I think I remember it. I have a number in my head. Yeah. Oh,
go ahead, Justin.
I'm going to say it was like 111, 112. One of those.
No? John, one guess.
Was it 106?
Later.
110.
Oh, come on. I said 111. Come on. Yeah.
John,
you make it sound like a way off.
Justin,
You know?
When does 111 look like 110?
Oh, it's that one at the carnival with Arcade, right?
It
was before that.
Yeah.
It was Warhawk.
That's one of my favorites. Yeah.
It was Warhawk. I got the filler issue as my very first X-Men, but I can tell you 111 is the book that went. You're staying right here. And then 112 and then 113. Those are my 3 favorite of all time. And I remember I still have vivid, wonderful memories of doing those 3 issues with you guys.
Yep. Same.
Back to back to back when you guys first got started. That was some fun stuff.
Oh yeah, that was when Chett, you were an ongoing guest essentially.
Volume 1.
Yeah.
That was
still out
some
there.
Fun days.
It was. Yeah. All right, well let's jump into this annual here. New Mutants Annual number 1, an epic cover. Definitely let's start with the cover here. Of course, Bill Sienkiewicz. It's been very different, over these last few months of the different artists that we've had, and we've been talking heavily about Bill since he's taken over. John, I'll start with you. What are your initial thoughts on this cover?
Yes, more. All of it. It feels like an album cover that would be like I would buy. Yes. This has 80s rock anthem vibes to it, and the hair is enormous. The person grabbing her leg, very Star Warsy, with the Leia at the feet of Luke. So I'm all in. This gives you Flash Gordon times a million vibes. So yeah, sign me up.
Nice. Chett, what about you? What are your initial thoughts on the cover?
I remember when this book came out, and I just looked at the cover and said, "This is different." I was like, it's not like the pages of the actual New Mutant run. And I was just like, it looks great. The guitar, the axe, Sam grabbing her leg. It's a very rock-oriented cover. And I liked it so much that I got it in this grade. So,
boom.
Woo. Very nice.
Yeah. So, no newsstand, but you know how that goes. We'll always hunt it. And when we find it, something becomes trade bait.
Yeah, Bobby. Yes, Cannonball grabbing her leg. That is Cannonball. Love it. Well, I'm with you guys for sure. This is definitely an epic, cover right off the bat before you get into anything. And I've definitely seen this before, again, even before diving into the New Mutant stuff, and was always curious about it because, yeah, it looks like a rock and roll album. And I'm like, well, where does this go? And what does the music have to do with it? And, I'm like, is that Dazzler? Is that supposed to be like Dazzler? I know that doesn't look like Dazzler, but like the music side of things, I don't know. So yeah, I'm with you. Definitely, nice pick up there, Chad. I think this is
Thank you.
Getting a nice slabbed version of this. Yeah, Candace agrees as well.
Thank you, Candace.
So yeah, well, let's get into the book here. We're going to kick it off with the very beginning starts in the Danger Room, the Cosmic Cannonball Caper, as we have this really gorgeous splash page. Now, again, the interiors here, Bob McLeod, and also Palmer is being credited as well for doing some of the inking, McLeod and Palmer. But McLeod doing a lot of the artwork in this one. Again, a little different than what we were just on, with Bill Sienkiewicz over these last few weeks. So nice to get Bob back, because really he was off the book now at this point for a little while, other than, I guess even covers or whatever. So, so we start with this. We have in the Danger Room, Cannonball struggling to, use his powers to lift this heavy block that's above him, that's essentially crushing him, and trying to test out his powers. On the right hand side, you have you see that cool, like kind of far from a distance view, and then you see the view from where Professor X is with Danny Moonstar and Ileana as they are watching above. I had to put in the read the room here because
that's exactly what my eyes were.
Yeah, because right off the bat, Danny's just saying this real kid-like and friendly, over-exaggerated thing that any kid would say, anyone would say, not even a kid, just a human being making a phrase as they're watching Cannonball do this. She says, I feel the floor shake, Ileana. If Sam keeps this up, he'll generate enough thrust to put himself into orbit. Like, wow, hyperbole, that's, and then Professor X is just like, hardly, Danielle. The pressure system are handling the load quite nicely. He just thinks it's so serious and literal, and dude, she's just saying a thing to another kid, anyways. This is where this started.
We've converted Justin to a complete Xavier hater. It doesn't matter what he's doing. He's like, God, this guy again.
I'm just like, dude, read the room, man. It's a teenager who's just adding some fun,
cheering on her friend is ultimately what she's doing, supporting him.
So, John,
I gotta love the opening panel, it being real, because this Cannonball picture.
Oh yeah.
I hadn't read this book in a while. Earlier today, when I did pick it up, knowing that I was going to be on the show, I remember this picture. So I used to draw it all the time, trying to draw it, and I love this picture. So that was opening scene, and really got me good.
100%, man. Yeah, I'm with you. Ryan says Charles is a wet blanket. Yeah, I mean, Candace is a buzzkill for sure.
Yeah.
John, what about you? What are your thoughts here when you first kind of dove into this?
I mean, he's definitely not one for praise. And it's funny because he knows Sam is a kid that will feed off of that and will actually he needs it. So it's interesting that he parcels it out as a dog teaching him tricks, beg, sit, stay. I think I think it goes to show that sometimes he doesn't always know how to deal with each person differently, because a good teacher would ideally understand that you don't teach everybody the exact same way, right? You got to try to get to people the way that would best communicate with them. This is just like coaching or anything, right? And I feel like Xavier uses the same methodology for every single person and doesn't really change up his way. Right. And it works beautifully with some people, and absolutely is just a disaster with others. And that's the real problem. The real flex that he's demonstrating here is an inability to be flexible.
Yeah. You just got to read the room. That's really what it comes down to.
I agree with that.
Yeah, Chett, was there anything else that you wanted to add there?
I mean, I like the explanation of Cannonball he's a mutant, you see, and all that stuff. The oldest member of the New Mutants grabbed me as well, because thinking back, yeah, he was. And it's just that opening panel. That opening panel got me good. And then, reading along, seeing what he was doing, remembering what he was doing, and how it came to an end was, another, I guess, excuse my French, dick move by Professor, but it happens. So it's what we're used to so far. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. All right, well, let's keep it going, because as Sam gets through this process, he has a lot kind of going on in his mind right now, and all the pressures he's dealing with, feeling like he has a lot on his shoulders, quite literally, but also figuratively, and knowing that he's trying to consider himself to be a leader amongst the rest of the team. Meanwhile, Professor X instructs Danny to basically throw a curveball here and use her powers on him while he is still in this, testing mode in the danger room, which even Danny's like, that doesn't seem right. It seems a little unfair. You want me to, this could be dangerous. This could hurt him. But sure enough, she did what she was instructed to do. And immediately, as Sam is trying to focus, he freaks out when he sees the Brood coming alive and completely trying to bite what looks to be biting his arm. And he gets completely scared, loses his concentration. And in the middle panels there, you see he falls to the ground and gets squashed to a degree. Obviously, danger room won't or they Professor X making sure it won't kill you. But and then you get this kind of white silhouette of Professor X, who's now mentally in the room with him, talking to him and explaining why he did what he did. So Sam is like pissed. He's like, Danny, why the heck did you do that? I'm in the danger room. I'm trying to do this thing here, and you're distracting me. And Professor X is like, hey, it was on me. I told her to do it, and the reason is because I want to see how you do under pressure and being distracted, trying to throw curveballs at you, because in the real world, you're gonna have to things like that. So so now he kind of backs off on the idea that Professor X does have a point here, that he is going to have to be able to work in these conditions. So they have a little bit of a heart-to-heart, and then meanwhile on the far panel there, it kind of switches gears here just briefly, and we get this big green hairy creature. We don't know much. It just takes place in New York City, and all they see is a poster of an artist named Lila Cheney, and
I say
I think it's Cheney. Yeah,
Cheney. Sorry, Lila Cheney, and he just slashes the poster of Lila. We don't know what that's about, but we'll find out soon enough. So, I'm going to pass it to you, John. First, what are your thoughts here as we kind of get through this danger room scene?
I feel like it's never the concept that Xavier fumbles. Like this is a very good activity for Sam, right? Push his power as far as he can, and then in the midst of that, attempt distraction and see how he handles it, all within a safe, he doesn't get crushed or anything. He's perfectly safe. Like, he's not getting harmed in any way. What's up, Perry?
What's up, Perry?
It's the conversation after that I dislike, where he doesn't really lift Sam up. You can see the look on Sam's face that Sam feels like a failure, and he often feels like a failure. And I think the take that Xavier has with him is not one to build up his esteem. It's just to tell him, no, this is normal. Like suck it up, kid, do it. Instead of, really, he's got to build Sam up. Sam needs some encouragement. And this is, I think, why in a long ways down the road here, Cable so easily bonds with Sam. I think he gives Sam that stuff. He gives Sam that courage that I think Xavier's not clearly reading the room and giving to Sam now.
Yeah, he's got some work to do, Xavier. Colin says, kind of half expected Professor X to throw Danny under the bus here. Yeah, would not put it past him. Yeah, would not put it past him. Chett, what about you? What are your thoughts here through the rest of this danger room scene?
I'll be honest, like reading this and seeing that danger room scene, it gives me the second X-Men team stuff, the Burn stuff.
Sure.
I mean, the tests in the danger room, Storm losing her cool in the danger room, almost taking off people's heads, Colossus and Wolverine sabotaging the machine. Everybody goes through it with him, and he literally explains to them it's part of the process. You're going to grow with it. You're going to do well next time and all that. Sam doesn't seem to be very, I guess, what's the word? Confident. Yeah, you said it. And just seeing his thoughts, I can do this, maybe screw the old man, forget him and knows his tests. But when you see Professor X speak to him and tell him it's part of the process, you'll do better next time and grow with it, just like all the other X-Men. It's something I'm used to seeing. So I actually like that, the younger team is basically getting the same rice and beans that the older teams got. You know what I mean? So it's food for thought, and they're going to grow with it.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. It definitely is a good kind of reminder, a flashback to thinking back to our other team that we love and been reading. So,
and that panel where is it on here? The middle panel where you see Professor like astral plane just his head. The next panel over, you could see Sam trying to kill him by sticking his hand down his throat.
There you go. And it got real dark real quick. Bobby says, yeah, Xavier could only teach what he was taught, and that was tough love. There it is.
There it is.
All right, well, let's keep it going here. So yeah, we kind of fast forward a little to or this is back at the mansion, essentially, where we see Danny working with Stevie Hunter, trying to get stretched out again. Now, remember, Danny just went through this series of, brutal the brutal attack with Demon Bear, trying to be saved by the hospital, the doctors, the operation that she had gone through for hours, and then seemingly being, healed by the healer, thanks to Storm from her previous issues. So, seeing this, interesting. She's kind of working out some of her stretches and stuff. She gets a Charlie horse. Stevie kind of tries to help her out a little bit, and she can tell like Danny's going through a tough time right now mentally. Like she's in a lot of pain, but she's also just in a lot of like mental pain as well. And she is she's crying, but she's trying to hold the tears back. Stevie tries to lighten the mood a little. I think Stevie's always been good with kind of being there for the kids and someone else to kind of bounce ideas and discussions with, other than somebody like Professor X. So, she's always been a family member in our eyes. And then we get Roberto knocking down the door with some tickets. He goes, tickets are in. He goes, I got them. And, they're all excited. They don't know what. And they find out it is for that artist, Lila, who the kids next up, they all line up and get online to, essentially see the artist herself. Roberto, coming from such a rich family, is able to get them some really sweet tickets and be able to do a meet and greet with her. So
I applaud your choice of Grammy winners here, because I'm a huge, I never say it, but I'm a huge Pat Benatar fanatic.
Oh, okay. I knew you were a fan.
I can tell you what song she's singing right there.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, man. You watched everything. That's awesome. I actually get to work with her once when I was doing live sound for a little bit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I've been dying most of my life to meet that woman, just to shake her hand.
Oh, really? Yeah. She's sweet.
Oh,
she's
man.
a lot of energy, very short, and just really nice. She wears really thick boots, and rock and roll high heel.
Yeah. She was one of my favorites. That 5 octave voice back in the day.
Yeah. Nice.
I also get a little Joan Jett from
a little bit. Yeah.
I think Joan Jett came later, so I don't know that I think Joan was after this.
Yeah.
So let's sorry. So they basically get to go on stage. They see Lila rocking out at the top there, and that's really before a lot of crazy stuff happens. But any thoughts here, John? I'll start with you on just seeing a little bit with Danny and what's going on with her.
I mean, I think Stevie Hunter needs more love, more respect, more praise for what she's doing, because she's the assistant coach in this whole thing going on right now at Xavier, this generation, and she's carrying a lot of the workload. Xavier's flying off with his girlfriend to outer space and getting in and out of wheelchairs, and I don't know what he's doing. He's gone to the battle world and then comes back, and he's got a dragon or whatever. It's like she's just picking up the pieces around here, and there's not enough praise for what she's doing right here, because this is the support Sam needed last scene, and Stevie's at least there to give it here to Danny when she needs it. So yeah, big praise for that. There was I don't know when it happened, Ryan, but I feel like they never gave us the scene where Warlock starts using the image transformer. He starts wearing, because
that threw me off too.
If you
You got
the
me
last
thinking.
time we saw it, Warlock was still in alien form and had just kind of like been welcomed to the team, and now he looks like it would be easy for a fan reading this to be like, who's the tall brown-haired guy? And he's talking kind of weird. Like, you have to know who he is. Now it's only a couple of pages, and then all of a sudden you see him transforming. But even the transformation, like he's brown-haired guy in one panel, he's Warlock in another panel. There's no like half transition to give us, oh, he's been wearing the image inducer thing that Nightcrawler was wearing. There's none of that. And I think we could have used that. And that was a disappointment to me as a reader that wasn't like a part of what we're getting here. If you want to keep it from us and make us ask the question, fine. But then when he transforms, give us that panel. Like that one with him and Bobby, when him and Roberto are running into action, give me the transformation. Half Roberto, half transformation, half Warlock, half transformation. Like, give me that half done panel. I think it would have worked a lot better.
Yeah, I agree. I actually was questioning if I was like, oh, did we read out of order? I was like, maybe 21 came before and maybe 21 has that scene. Like I was questioning that myself. So yeah, definitely a few people in the chat agreeing with that. It's a good point. Chett, anything that you want to add here with with these scenes with Danny and Stevie?
Stevie, I think Stevie had mentioned she had broken her knee, and it was basically a fortifying point for Danny. You know, I broke my knee. She said it. I came back, and I was a beast when I came back. So if anything, that's a big motivational tool that she uses. So I mean, she apparently knows how to deal with them.
Yeah.
You know. So I mean, I guess the fact that she's younger than the professor, a little bit more hip than the professor would ever be, you know, she can relate to kids a little bit more than he can these days. You know, but I think John said it best. She's a great second coach.
Yeah.
You know, she's definitely all about, you know, helping them improve and getting better and staying strong and believing. So, I mean, you're a mutant already, so when you bring yourself down other ways, the way she's bringing them up is really, really just productive, and it's essential to the team. I would think too.
Yeah. Well said. All right, well, let's keep it going. Next up, so we see these. Essentially, how that last page was ending was you started to see these speakers topple over.
Speakers,
and so the team quickly kind of adjusts and jumps to saving the day, really. And you know, Cannonball swooping in and saving Lila while Roberto and Warlock jump into action to kind of try to catch this as best as possible. Luckily, nobody gets hurt. And on top of everything else, Lila was like completely, appreciative of the save that Cannonball did, and so much that she makes out with him. She kisses him right there. He was clearly not ready for it, and if anybody else that wasn't ready for it was Bobby. Bobby's like, what? Wait, why is she kissing him? You know, if I'm in the room, and we get a lot of that here. So yeah, then we kind of figure out that there seems to be like somebody trying to actually hurt her. They see that the cables or the chains that were holding these speakers were actually cut on purpose. Warlock is the one to kind of point that out. And so now we go into detective mode, and Rain jumps into full form to try to hunt down and figure out who would have done this. And you get the rest of the team who is also starting to kind of go off and find their way. So Chett, I'll pass it to you. Anything that you want to kind of throw in here for this event?
I like the first meeting of Lila and Sam.
Yeah,
very, very mosh pit. He brings her down, but she's thankful. I like that. I like that she steers away her management, like, get away. These guys just saved my life and everything, so who's in control. Right after that, she's inviting them to a party, so she's taken to them right away. These days, I know what's going on with Lila. There's a lot of Dazzler stuff that I bet you Ryan knows all about. But I think I like her introduction. I like her introduction. I like where she ends up, throughout the years, because you do get her in a lot of different arcs and so forth. And if I forget, doesn't she have transporting powers? Like she can be in one place and then end up in. Is that her power? Like she dimensional traveling or something to that?
Yeah, like long-term teleportation based on.
Yeah. So yeah, I like her power set, and I like that she's a friggin' rock star. Yeah. And I like the way she gets along with the team.
Yep.
Right from the get.
Ryan says, Lila, after my show, let's stir the spaghetti sauce. There you go.
Oh God.
I don't know what cooking has to do with this, Ryan, but and Ryan says, did somebody say Dazzler again?
Yes, I did. If he hasn't been reading, I'll be shocked.
Sniff John Squirk, what is up? Sniff sniff.
Perry, man. Perry.
So Bobby says, she can teleport to different planets. There it is. Further distances.
Yeah.
All right, John, anything you want to add here?
No, I mean, I think we can get a little more into Lila's character in this issue and ongoing. I love the look. I love the concept. The execution, I don't know. She's a little bit odd here, but we know there's a lot of secrets. There's a lot of layers getting peeled from this onion in this particular storyline. This issue does move really quickly right here.
Yeah.
Like it's just flying at a breakneck pace. But let's see where it goes.
Yeah. So it's.
I also gotta say that I love how Sam checks Bobby and says, "You don't have to score with every chick we meet."
Oh yeah.
He puts them on blast. Like, relax, kid.
He was having some serious issue with that for sure, and we see that again later. All right, so we get so the show goes on while the kids are trying to figure out, who would have done such a thing. You get them up in the rafters climbing, and then we finally meet this Rockanine. Or I don't know if I'm saying that right. Rockanine, which is a Rockanine, one of the Rockanine grass eater warrior. He says, warrior and hunter I am. Very much Yoda-like with all the kind of switching of sentences and words around. But he comes out of nowhere and hits Rain, which definitely don't appreciate. But then Warlock goes and does his thing. Now, I will say, we're starting to see a little more of what Warlock can do. And it's pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty creative, very unique. He turns into like this like four-legged, like a table almost, and locks in the guy's legs and arms so he can't like do anything. Now, he's fancy enough to kind of have like cat-like reflexes, and he flips them over and all this stuff. But then Magma comes in and she starts lighting it up. And meanwhile, this is all going on above the show. So pretty risky. And they're trying not to disturb what is actually going on with the event. But and then of course you have Ileana there on the side at Cannonball trying to take off, but he ducks under Cannonball. So I mean, definitely a lot of action just going on in these few panels. John, what anything you want to throw in here before I know there's if we could just kind of clump this together because there's a few panels.
It moves really quickly. Like we were just on the before the show, the sound check, but now we're like in the concert, and now there's a villain attacking. Now everybody's in their costumes, and now they're like fighting up above in the rigging. It's like it's a little chaotic for me, jumping all over the place. I do love Warlock as a character all the way to today. I think it's phenomenal, and so I love seeing his skill set at the early days here and what that looks like. And then firstly, anybody that kicks your dog, beat their ass like that. I don't know what they're thinking. Like that's when you don't hit my dog. Yeah. And I know Rain is not their dog. She's not. Don't pet her. She's not a pet.
Oh my God!
They did it. That's the first thing this guy did was hit the dog.
Yeah.
That's not cool, man. That's not cool.
Adam says, bearded lizard man? Yeah,
sure.
Oh my God, is that a man bear pig? Yeah, exactly.
So he's got those like side chop things and they really go long. Like Wolverine is envious of this. Sabretooth is like, wow.
Ryan says, let me just say this wouldn't have happened if they had gone to a Dazzler concert.
We don't know that. If you've been reading Dazzler lately, there's a lot of stuff taking place at her shows.
That great miniseries with Dazzler and the X-23 that happened about a year ago, they basically got into like the blood rave from Blade and that thing.
Yeah,
everybody was dying. So that was no picnic neither.
Chett, anything you want to add here? Maybe a little bit about Warlock and starting to see his abilities come to life.
Yeah, he's like John said. I like Warlock to this day. I mean, he's got the coolest power set. I like that he could just turn into anything right on the dot. Like look what he does to this guy. He basically turns into a Lego block with handcuffs. Yeah. And I think his power set is great. In this these set of scenes, though, I like that Amara is getting some action.
Good call. Yeah.
Obviously, not only the dog got hit, she got the stuffing punched out of her, and from this guy that nobody knows who or what he is yet, but he does say something, and and Sam picks up on it. So I'll let you go from there, so I don't spoil it.
Yeah. So jumping into kind of the next set of scenes here. We get a close up. They're falling through the top of the rafts there, and kind of crashing down into the actual concert that we see. So the rest of the team there. Where am I here? So she Lila has this ability. Ends up essentially playing the guitar in a way that I don't know what's the sound or what that threw off the monster and also threw off Warlock. But Warlock starts to freak out based on the waves. He says, "Oh, power overload. It can't handle any of this stuff." And then you get the far side here where the screen essentially goes to fade, and Lila with her guitar, playing and everything, she ends up disappearing along with Sam and the band. As you can see, all the lightning and everything kind of going around them, and poof, they're essentially gone. They disappear. So Chett, go on. What else did you want to add to this? Kind of these scenes going into this.
At first reading this, I didn't understand what was going on with the sonic guitar sounds and so forth, and then the teleportation. I guess that's definitely where Lila's power took over. But this guy, all his stuff just blows up off of him when she plays the guitar. It's like, I don't know. Maybe the music is that erotic.
Yeah. It just had him going.
It was confusing at first. I guess. Sam says it too. They exploded. Everything exploded, and everything else around them is exploding, and all of a sudden Sam needs help, and then boom. Yeah. That's where you see that big light above her, and then she's playing the guitar. I'm not sure what goes on from there, but I'll let you take it from there because that's an actual good scene coming up.
Yeah. Go ahead, John. Do you want to throw something in there as well?
This concert's so wild, man. It takes you to other planets. It's wild.
Wait, John, hold on. I think let's zoom in on this panel here, because I think in the crowd, if you guys look closely at that top left panel, if you look closer at the crowd, do you see that person at the bottom left? Hold on, let me zoom in here, because I think there's someone we know there. Hold on, let's zoom in here. I think Chett. Oh my God, Chett, were you in the crowd? You were at this concert, Chett. You didn't even say anything. I had no idea.
He's loving it, man. He's
that you went to see Lila live.
Wow, I remember when that was taken.
It'll transport you. Lila Cheney's music will transport you. Man.
So Chett, man, you were there.
That's when I saw Lila in New Jersey at the Starland Ballroom.
Oh, there it is. When she toured with Seven Dust, right? When she toured with Seven.
That was a good one. That's a real good one.
Anyways, I was shocked. I was like, "Oh my gosh, look who's there." Sorry, John. Was there something else you wanted to add in there with the?
That was it. This music it'll transport you, man. It'll get you high. It'll get you high. It'll take you where you need to go. And let's see what happens. Yeah.
All right. Let's move into.
Awesome. I didn't even see that. You just popped that up like, hey, that guy looks familiar.
Hanging out in the crowd, always in the rock and roll crowd. All
Very
right,
good one, Jay.
So here we have the rest of the team. You had the crowd. They're all wondering where she went, and they kind of start crawling in. Security's trying to control the place. It's a nut house now. Meanwhile, Warlock, he is in really bad shape based on whatever she did with that guitar work. He's back in human form. The team's kind of holding him. Yeah, they're carrying him alongside. Everybody else is concerned, checking in on what's going on with Warlock, and not really sure. Really, all they hear is that there's these. He says energy pulse, sound pillar, mask, Stargate. Warlock keeps saying Stargate, and starts to spitting out all these different details that everybody else is very confused about. He's like, Lila, the rock and roll singer, Roberto's asking. So they find out very little as they go back and forth. What was the other part here? Warlock. I like that they call him Locke, by the way. They call him Locke for short, which is new to me. But Danny's saying, is there a way that you can use your power, activate the Stargate that's there? And if you can, basically let's go after them wherever they went. Let's use your ability, your powers, and do the same thing.
Well, and it's the energy that's building up inside of him. It's going to need a release, right? It's either going to be functional or destructive, right?
For Warlock.
Yeah.
Well, for all of them as well. So Danny's the one that's like, let's use it. Let's make function out of this.
Oh,
right?
see, okay. So I was thinking it was in Warlock specifically. I didn't know.
He absorbed it from her, right? When Lila used her ability, and you know that energy was being sent out, he took it in, and so that's why Danny's like, well, maybe you can do with us what she did to Sam.
Yeah.
So let's just unleash it, like use it instead of having tragic consequences of detonating or whatever here in the middle of this concert hall. Like she's like, no, let's use it and teleport us all the same way Lila did it to Sam.
And it even says, Danny's gamble is that by replicating the process, the spirited Lila away, she and the mutants would end up at the same destination. That was her plan. They say a reasonable assumption. Unfortunately, she is wrong. So the team is now just floating in space. Pretty psychedelic there. With the team. But Chett, anything you want to add in here with kind of what just happened?
That was a good surprise. You had to think that they were saying, okay, so since she saw that happen before, they're going to end up in the same spot. But when you saw that, unfortunately, she's wrong deal, and then seconds before the mutant's fateful disappearance from Earth, and they end up somewhere else, and I guess they're okay. So I mean, I like the way that was done. I definitely like the way that they got Warlock to, I guess, what's the word? Expunge all of that energy. And then the next panel, you see them, they're like literally holding him up in space. Like he's got his actual form back again. And boom, they're back on Earth. They're even singing about it like Quagmire.
Yeah.
So,
and to a little bit to Justin's point, I think it's confusing the way it's worded and the quick way in which it happens, and it doesn't necessarily have the dramatic reveal that it should have, because I think it's just, again, I think they're struggling to write Warlock's powers in a way that the reader can appreciate them, both artistically, maybe in the drawings, but also in the words that they're choosing. So I think this is the second, for me, flub of the writing in this issue, where we're just kind of like trying to keep up with the story in some way.
And you notice right after that space scene, they get right onto something else. So I guess they're not willing to elaborate on it right afterwards.
They gotta get to putting people in weird leather costumes as quickly as freaking possible. That's the priority. How do we get more dominatrix costumes going here? How do we make that the priority?
So let's jump right into the next set of scenes here. So we have we find out that Sam and Lila and the band, they kind of transform into
you did not Holyfield this. You did not Holyfield this. I'm not even a sports guy. I know exactly what I'm looking at here. I know the names of both guys. That's hilarious.
Hey, look, I just see a lot of ear biting going on.
I'm saying it's fair. It's not
oh my god.
Wrong.
So immediately they're in this place, this Dyson sphere, which Sam's like excited about. He talks about this scientific fiction that of what this city is and what it can do, and she's like, oh cool, like great, you know exactly what this is. It's their home away from home, from a galaxy far away, with really what she controls of everything. So I was a little thrown off by this, but it's basically a private paradise is kind of how she explains it. And he's
better question is, how is it possible some country bumpkin who worked in a coal mine knows all this crap information about what the heck a Dyson sphere is? This is the worst use of exposition I've ever seen in my freaking life. Why can't Lila just explain what it is and Sam be like, oh, that's cool? Instead, it's got to be Sam going like, well, a Dyson sphere. Let me tell you, let me put my professor glasses on and tell you all about a Dyson sphere, which I've studied extensively, and I can explain in all of its facets and tell you all about. There's no way Sam Guthrie knows a single. He's never said these words in his life, and never will he again later. This is ridiculous exposition. I'm sorry. This is strike three, Claremont. I'm sorry. I did not buy this for a second. I did not. There's no way.
How much is left in that bottle that you were drinking?
It's just water. There's no truth to this tonight, but just give the dialogue to Lila. It makes way more sense that she's telling him this than he tells her, oh, I know all about I've studied this extensively. I did my thesis paper on this. I can tell you all about Dyson spheres.
Well, you gotta figure he lives in Westchester in a mansion now, and there's computers.
He's saying he learned all this in the last month.
Yeah,
No,
guy barely knows his own power stuff.
The only Dyson that guy's familiar with is the one that vacuums their living room.
Yeah. It's,
no way.
Lila's like, wow, you lost your accent and you sound different. It's just
right. She bit his ear and he's like, now I know things.
Yeah. So
it was the on-off switch. Now he has all this new knowledge.
She's very flirtatious here, and basically, tells him to go change. She passes him on to the other guys, the drummer and the other guitar player, to go kind of get into some different clothes. Meanwhile, she gets a call from this guy, Charasula, if I'm saying that right, which is green.
They're going to be vital characters later on. You better get these names right.
Charasula, this green bearded, another Yoda kind of style of creature, who talks a little bit about, asking about the deal. Basically, what is revealed here is that her plan is she's stealing Earth and she's going to essentially sell it and sell the people in it. That's her whole scheme, and to sell it to this guy, or he talks about the hunter of bounty. Makes you his prey. She goes, oh, I already dealt with that, that guy from before. And so, there are deals that are being made here, but she's, basically like, hey, you know how I operate. This is the deal. I'm stealing this. I'm going to sell you this. And she's just trying to make a deal. That's really what this whole kind of issue boils down to for as far as what she has in mind. So, didn't really see this coming. There's a lot, fit in here with these new characters. Chett, anything you want to add in here with the Dyson sphere, or kind of the scenario of, the fact that Lila's got this big scheme going on. She's a thief.
It's a good twist. You don't expect it. And then when you read about it, it's like, oh. And then when you see how far it actually gets, what she's doing to execute it, you're like, oh, wow, Lila's not all she's cracked up to be in terms of, love and roses, I guess. Right. So it kind of takes you a little sideways from where everything's going. She's not, she's not being forthcoming.
Yeah.
So, or forthright. So, it makes the reader go further, obviously, but right now I'm a little surprised as I'm reading this going, but I thought she was on their team. I thought she was helping them,
Yeah.
So it's a good twist.
Yeah. And to John, your point earlier, as you mentioned, a lot of layers with Lila.
I'm not done with points. I got more points.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it, John. Fire away.
I'm really upset that we got 3 pages of look at the view. We got to get you in a new outfit. I'm going to bite your ear 5, 6, 7 times. And 3 panels to explain her genius plot to sell Earth to aliens.
Yes,
talk about burying the lead, Claremont. And then guess what? We're going to jump right from her explaining her master plan to something totally different, and not even continue to give you more insight into this. This drove me up the wall. You finally get to the plot, and you dump it in the last panel and jump to the next thing. It's come on, my guy. I did not need her to keep nibbling on Sam and get him into dominatrix gear. Give me the juice here. And why do all the aliens look identical? Why can't we get is this the guy that attacked them at the last place?
Right.
You're right about that. They resemble each other, or if they're not the same person.
They gave us really confusing names to try to pronounce for each one of them, so we know that they're not the same guy.
Right.
And they don't speak clear.
I'm mad at you, Claremont. I'm just saying. I'm a little salty with this one.
I hope you keep this book in mind when you meet him for the first time, John. I hope you keep this.
This is the book I'm going to get signed.
Yeah. I like
Bob. Send me a copy.
Bobby says, I thought you were a cool rock star. She's really just a dirty developer.
She is scam artist.
Yes.
I can't tell if she's clapping or waving at me, but I'd take either one.
She's clapping. All right. So let's keep going. So there are a couple different. As you said, we kind of shift gears here. We get to see the team wake up.
Yes, Queen. Yes,
outer space, and they are in Warlock right now. Warlock is kind of developed into this ship. It's amazing these things that he can do. This kind of threw me off for a second. I was like, wait, where are they? Like I didn't, they're in these pods almost, and she sits
which are straight out of Alien. Like you look at the layout, the way they're laid out, and the way that it's straight out of the original Alien movie. So I love it.
That's the importance of Warlock right there, man. Yeah. He's such a good character.
It's clutch, yeah, and his character, it really must have been so fun to create him and write him, and even now, like just knowing all the different things he can do to really just like expand upon that. So Warlock essentially explains that his abilities, and this is really just to set us up to have an understanding that he can do these types of things. Basically took it upon himself to make sure that the team didn't die while they were in outer space, and
always
as they figured out where they had to go from here, he says he has a little bit more, power essentially to be able to get to where they need to go next. They can't necessarily go home yet. So they're going to continue on with trying to find where Lila is in this Dyson sphere. Meanwhile, you get Sam Guthrie, my man with the leathers, as we've been kind of hinting towards this whole time, walking in thanks to the drummer and the guitar player, hooking him up with some leathers. And man, Lila is excited. She's very excited.
Looks like Rob Halford.
She's 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 making out with him. This is totally a different world for him. He's got a cross earring hanging. And meanwhile, the one, I guess, drummer, what's his name? We don't have his name here. Down at the bottom, though, he essentially is setting this all
Hoviness.
Oh, Hoviness. Okay. Oh, yeah, this is Hoviness.
Sure. Yeah. Remember it.
Vital. Yeah, I was gonna say, why does that have to be Hoviness?
This is the key first appearance of Hoviness, everybody.
He says, enjoy yourself, Lila. While you're playing, I'll be pulling off the double cross of all time. So he's kind of cutting out the middleman and trying to make the deal without Lila to basically sell off the Earth to this alien without her knowing and taking everything for himself. So that is kind of the gist of that aspect here. John, what are your thoughts here? I
just got done figuring out her plan. I got to deal with this guy's double cross like 2 pages later.
How do you say his name? Hoviness?
I would think it's a French name, and I would go with Hovan.
Hovan. Okay.
It's ridiculous. We've already jumped. We've jumped plot lines more often than Lila Cheney has taken clothing off. Like it's wild what's going on here. The only thing keeping this going is Bob McLeod. Bob McLeod's holding this down. I'm saying the spaceship artwork, phenomenal. Oh, yeah. All of Danny's facial expressions so strong here.
Agreed.
Lila Cheney's I guess bathing suit, phenomenal, impressive. She's giving him the graduate pose there right at the beginning. Like, excuse me, Sam, are you trying to seduce me? I don't know what the thought is on this. And damn it, Sam, you can say no. Buddy, like you can just say you're a grown-ass adult now almost. Come on, my guy. You don't have to put on the dominatrix outfit that the lady that you just met who transported you across space and time gave you. You don't have to put it on. You can say no.
He's in love.
Like
John.
No means no. Draw a boundary. Don't feel like what does he call himself? A prize jerk. You look like the first guy chosen at the gangbang. You don't look like a prize jerk. You look like a prize. He's gonna be a prize. He's gonna be somebody's prize.
Ryan,
I just want him to learn to say no.
Ryan's right about this. They definitely shop outfits the same as Callisto, where she shops. I agree.
I feel like this goes back to the beginning. If Professor Xavier had just given the guy some praise, built up his self-esteem, he would have turned around to this thing
Jezebel
and said no, and said, you know what, I'm fine, and what I'm wearing is fine. I don't need whatever the hell reject Nightwing costume you're giving me here. I don't need it.
Sorry. Great comments, John. That's why we're here, John. That's why we're here. Chett, anything you want to add to John's thoughts?
I think he's covered the whole spectrum. No, lady, I'm not wearing your outfit. I don't need the motivation from Professor. He won't give it to me. So I'm just going to stay, whatever. The bottom line is McLeod is holding it down. And John's right. And I think in Sam's case, I could say he's an impressionable young man, so he's probably just going with the flow with Lila being a teen, being in space. And Rockstar has got the the hots for him, so he's
Clearly
probably
he's
just
like,
going with
yeah,
the
if I'm
flow.
gonna get some, it's like put me in whatever outfit you want. I don't give a crap. I'm gonna
Exactly.
Get some.
Yeah, but hey, I think it's flowing right now a little bit better. I mean, we're gonna find out a little bit more in a minute, but between Sam and Lila, I think it's progressing and maybe just a little too fast.
Yeah.
So
Like
I
everything
think,
else in this issue.
She's aggressive. She's aggressive, She's just being a
everything in this
You think?
issue goes. Everything in this issue is going a little bit too fast. Everything.
Matt says, I keep hoping that one day John will stop holding back and tell us how he really feels. Yeah.
I just was about to say the same exact thing. I think that magic potion in that bottle he was drinking, is that water, you say?
Yeah, water.
It is Wasser drinking. Yeah.
Vodka? What? Oh, all right. So
Water.
It's water.
Let's keep it going here. Let's keep it going. All right. So we switch gears again. We move over to see where the rest of the team is. Ileana is with Doug Ramsey. Doug Ramsey's seeing now that they've landed. They've essentially got there. Again, this is more kind of story that we're missing. We don't really see them arrive, but they kind of yes. So
like another page missing from this book where we're getting vital information that they found this planet.
I do wonder
and got out of the Warlock ship. Skip all of that because what we need is Doug staring at Sanskrit on the wall first.
I feel like
jump to that.
I feel like knowing Claremont and how much wordiness he has to a lot of his stories. I wonder if the editors over the years have been like, all right, like he just has too many pages. We got to cut pages out. Yeah. And they're like, all right, we're just gonna go without this. And Claremont's like, yeah, but that doesn't connect this to that. And they're like, we don't care. You're saying too much right now. So like they just threw it out, and now we're here to suffer for it. So maybe it was the editors, John. Who knows? That's what I'm going by, anyways. So we have a phrase
once before that we all know called "less is more."
Yes, that's very true. Yeah. So we have Doug Ramsey who's trying to decipher some things on the wall, which if you know Doug Ramsey, you know that's a big part of his ability. It's essentially his ability. So he's trying to decipher this. He doesn't have much time at the moment. They're like, come on, we got to get to this castle thing. So the rest of the team's going, and then they get attacked by those green large Yoda-y version guys. And they come in these like hovercrafts, these wild hovercrafts. So the team jumps into action. We get more action here. Some cool panel layouts. Again, I agree, John, with what you said about the artwork and like the close faces of like Danny, like the one here, just the detail. Clearly Bob is just crushing it. And then we get to see Magma jump into full gear here, and Rain. And so the rest of the team, they kind of get split up here. Bobby jumps on at one point, gets a hold of one of them, and then can't control the dang thing.
Of course
and it goes
not. It's an alien spaceship. What did he think was going to happen?
Yeah, totally backfired.
He jumped on an alien spaceship and was like,
I
don't know what the crap.
After they were told the landing is 10 miles below.
Yeah, right. And all you
10 miles.
All you see is Zao, and he goes, "Oh no!" He just goes flying into the canyon
gift,
there.
by the way.
Yeah, I thought it was that's pretty accurate. Chett, what would you like to say? Anything? I mean, we get some action now. Finally, some other stuff going on. I mean, I think
it's pretty decent. Obviously, I love the art. Bob McLeod. Yeah, he does it for me. But I like the action. It's a nice little break in the action. They're giving you I guess, in an aerial view. I'm still bugging out at the fact that they were told that it's 10 miles till Earth.
Yeah.
So why are they having these types of fights up there? I mean, I don't know. I don't like that. I like that Roberto grabs the monster and throws him and tries to take control, but then he loses control. And luckily, there's good old Locke again saving the day, for Rain. So, yeah, that's it.
He can make an entire spaceship that has life support for 6 people. He can do anything.
Insane. I love that.
What can't you do, my guy? What can't you
do? I think he's vital. Like to this team, he's definitely vital. In the future, later on, I think he should have been utilized a lot more.
Completely.
Yeah. Tony says we have chicks in leather, and Doug is looking at old words on the wall. No wonder Cody wasn't into him. Yeah, it's fair.
He definitely is like, I've only got one job. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna read stuff.
Yeah, focused. John, anything you'd like to add here to these pages?
I mean, obviously, we need to get to the action. We need to give the book a little bit of excitement, a little bit of drama going on here. I always love Danny and Rain together. I like obviously they have a bond, literally like this connective bond between the two of them. But I think there's a friendship growing really nicely there as well.
Yeah.
And seeing the two of them together, I'm always asking for more of that team up for sure.
And that started early too in the books themselves. I mean, he was always complimentary of her and kind, and you can see she was like the bashful little girl, like, oh my God, this guy's coming on to me. And I guess they carried that through as far as a friendship. So
totally,
you're right, it works.
And now, Justin, let's turn the page because we lost another page of this damn book again.
Yeah.
So Lila was just nibbling his freaking ear. How are they in chains and strapped to the floor? What happened?
Yeah, that's true.
It was not a moment ago. They were just loving life, and Hoveness was on his computer talking about a double cross, and now we're like, bad guys are everywhere, and everybody's strapped and chained. Like, how are you skipping this stuff, Claremont? What the heck are you doing to me, guys?
Oh yes, and so we get the kids here who are now all captured by the attackers, basically, right? These aliens. And on top of that, Lila's like, how did you figure all this out and what happened? And it turns out that Hoveness is the one that gave him up, as we knew.
Yep.
Turns out that his name is actually Phil. Because she goes, you betrayed me, Phil.
John's face is killing me.
I don't know if he has
I think it's his last. I think it's Phil Hoveness is an actual last name, so it's probably Phil Hoveness.
Okay, so maybe that's it.
But who gives a crap? Now we're calling him by another name. Like,
I'm like,
are you trying to confuse the daylights out of me here?
I'm gonna go with Phil. That name rings to me.
Somebody choke Phil is what I'm saying.
Cherasula, he says, Cherasula made me an offer I couldn't refuse. He goes, nothing personal. He goes, hun, nothing personal, but this is business. And then, of course, right after that, just typical trope of, the villain or mobster in this case saying, yeah, you're an idiot because I'm going to kill you too. So he goes and zaps Phil. So Phil's no more. So that's
good thing good thing we learned all about that double cross the last 3 pages.
First,
that was vital.
So
I like the panels above that where the Rain and Danny are like, is that Sam?
Oh yeah, good boy. Yeah, they legit were questioning.
And he's like, Lord, open a pit and swallow me whole.
Yep.
That killed me. That brought me back.
Oh, it's so good.
I am with you there.
Yeah, if you look, he's got 3 amazing faces. He's got that one, and then the next page over, he's got one in the top, and then the next one over, he's got one at the bottom with Lila. They're all phenomenal. They're all phenomenal.
So true. Then we get the rest of the way. This guy's going to hit the switch here. That's supposed to, I guess, make the deal happen. And then while that's about to go down, and this is where the team kind of now figures out what the plan is, that Earth is being stolen, and Sam figures out that Lila's involved. He goes, what? Steal? Lila's involved? What's going on here? But before anything else can happen, there's a massive earthquake in the Dyson sphere, and it happens to be our good friend Magma. So she's kind of saving the day here, at least the moment, as she breaks things up and is coming through the floor, melting through the floor. Behold, brethren, the fire formed Terran. Yeah, so really cool. I mean, Claremont and every artist he's worked with, they just love that pose. Coming through very dark Phoenix Saga-y or Phoenix in general. We get that, and then when they get back into action here with the disruptions, Ilyana goes to work. Now she has the soul sword, but we learned that the soul sword only works on other magical creatures. This is an alien, so it's not going to work that way. And that's a good reminder, because I didn't really realize that either. So just to really get an understanding of how the soul sword works. But she's still clever enough to say, hey, I'm going to use this thing and at least swing it a few times, because they don't know it's not going to work on them. They just see this crazy wicked sword. So sure enough, it at least buys them time, and she's able to do enough distracting until the hero Doug Ramsey comes in and tackles, a low knee tackle there. That would definitely that would be a flag thrown there. If it was
that's Hellfire training right there. You can tell that academy paid off. They gave him some real stuff. This wasn't no book learning. He went to the Hellfire Academy and he learned some stuff.
Big time. And then if you guys don't mind, I'm just going to jump into this next pick.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Before you go on, the moment I was missing was Danny and Rain turn into Sam and being like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry that they captured you and forced you to put on this awful outfit." And Sam would be like, "Yeah, that's what happened." Because I'll tell you right now, he put that on himself.
Yeah,
nobody dressed my guy.
There was no gun to his head.
But they're gonna be like, "You took our friend and you forced him to wear this outfit and you turned him into a slave." He's like, "Yeah, that happened. Sure."
Great point.
There you go. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, that was good, John.
That's great. So as this action continues, we have Ileana, who pulls out a gun. Taking a page right out of Moira's book. And it's more of a laser, if anything. Yep. But she's shooting away, and she notices, or Doug notices, he starts to have kind of doubts about himself. He's like, man. Well, everyone else has all these cool powers and all these abilities that they can have and how they're fighting. He's like, I don't have a lot of that stuff. I'm not able to do. I can read things and he's learning more about his power still, but he has a little bit of a moment here. Meanwhile, Ileana frees Sam, shoots him with that laser gun, and then he goes right to work and is able to kind of take a few guys out using his abilities. Meanwhile, the team is definitely judging him. They're just seeing him flying through. He goes, "I'm never going to live this down, not in a million years." I love that that's on his mind as he's like attacking this alien mid-flight. He goes, "What did I do to deserve this, Lord? Where did I go wrong?" And then Danny steps in as the leader, says, "Hey, everybody, pair up with somebody and take them out." And sure enough, that starts to happen. Danny puts fear into everybody using her abilities, and then you have Sunspot, who again, we kind of thought he died there for a second. You didn't really know what happened to him, but he comes back.
And he said, "I took a flight simulator, of course, with that thing."
Yeah. So he's able to survive. He's like, he goes, "Don't worry, but I finally figured it out how to control the sled." And he goes, "Sam?" He goes, "My dear friend, what have they done to you?" As he just looks at him. That's the only thing. He just pauses. And then meanwhile, he's like, "Okay, I'm ready for the bad guys." And they're like, "Actually, Bobby, we're good.
You already did the job."
Yeah. So, him knocking that wall down took out the rest of the bad guys. And then we get a little bit of Lila now trying to figure out. She explains, like, "Listen, the world is doomed. With what you did, Magma, with the fire and everything, and destroyed it. You basically set things in motion to go in self-destruct mode. So this thing's gonna blow. We got to figure out what we can do." She goes, "I've never tested this." They said, "How do you stop this, Lila?" Lila didn't know. She just created this as she went, put things together. She didn't know what to do from here. Meanwhile, Doug is kind of this like quiet dark horse MVP, because he's starting to say, "Hey, hold on a second. Let me read a little thing here, because I see in this other language, it seems like it's starting to kind of explain almost like the instructions that no one else really knew how to read." So, that was him coming into play while everybody else couldn't. So, a little bit of craziness here. Chett, I'll pass it to you. And again, we can go back a little bit if there's anything else you want to mention on the last set of pages, but your general thoughts here with some of the action sequences and the.
I like the action sequence. Like right when Magma shows up, everything starts to, make a little bit more sense, especially when they start to explain the soul sword. That we figured that out. We get Doug doing his tackle, like his the Eagles on Mahomes. And did I say that? I'm sorry, Bobby. I don't know if you're still here. I like that Doug is so integral to the team. If he's not there, then obviously everything is lost. But he sits there, he's calm, he's reading, I guess, whatever the hieroglyphics or whatever they may be, and he's figuring it all out, and that's pretty much saving the day. I like that. I don't know, I felt a little weird about Sunspot learning how to fly on the fly, just to be able to come in and say, "I learned how to figure it out on that sled," and all that stuff. But other than that, everything else seems to jibe towards the end and make a little bit more sense. And again, I love the art, because McLeod and his expressions of Lila and Sam, and obviously Amara and Danny in that same panel with Doug in the background. I love that panel.
Mm-hmm.
That panel is just great.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my take on that.
Well said. Tony says Doug is Claremont's idea of a perfect librarian. There you go.
Fair.
John, anything you would like to add between some of the last pages in these?
I mean, there's a lot. Chett should take a break because there's a lot of plot holes here to fill. I got.
Wait, what about Phil? Sorry, what about Phil?
Phil McCracken.
Phil's dead, John. He's gone.
Yeah,
He's gone.
the Bobby's in tragedy, and then Bobby is back. What's the point of that? Come on, what was that all about? Of course, Doug reads a wall and can save the world. Like, okay, yeah, sure. Lila has created all of this vast technology and lives in this world, but doesn't know how any of it works. Okay, but Bobby can learn how to fly an alien glider in a couple of minutes. Also, fine. Like there's so many like thought jumps here that I just can't keep. I get dizzy trying to understand what's going on at the end of this book. It's just on the puzzle.
It's rushed.
So many missing pieces. It's just like I don't know what's going on.
Agreed. Definitely with you guys there. I had to reread this a few times, some of these parts, just because I was making sure I didn't miss. I was just doubting myself reading some of this because I'm like, wait, I must have missed
But don't worry, at the end, it all amounts to true love.
Oh yes, it does. So let's move on here then. So yeah, as they're scrambling, they're all yelling at Doug here to hurry up and figure this stuff out, and he's like, I need a little more time. They're like, do better. The brightness, the lights, and what seems to be almost the explosion then finally goes away as Doug says, I think I figured it out. This is what we got to do. They do it. There's a switch that he does, and essentially they're back. They're somewhere. So the room, the light, everything is back to normal. As Rain says, they all say, Doug, you did great. And then there's, now Danny turns to Lila, says that you have some explaining to do, with everything that's going on. So she basically explains that she admits kind of what we now, the reader, knows already, that she's a thief. Her whole thing is she just wants to be the best. And in order to be the best at what she does, she needed to steal Earth. That was it. That was the whole.
I get that. That makes total sense.
Yeah,
I want to be the best. So I'm going to steal Earth and sell it to somebody. That makes total. That's an A-B. That just connects. Those dots connect, man, is what I'm saying. I get it.
John, she's the best there is, plain and simple.
Yeah. What I need more of is that Amara far look. Look at that face. The look that Amara has.
That is
right there is the look I had reading this book. I'm my brows coming together. I'm looking at Liana or whatever, Lila Cheney, and I'm just like, get your ass out. Somebody slap this person. Somebody really lay down on this person. And not in the fun way she's got in mind, not in the dominatrix way she's thinking.
John doesn't want to walk up to her and be like, bitch.
Yes. Lay her out and then lay Claremont over the knee as well. I think there's more to go around here. Sorry. That's just I want more
Amara. System.
I need more Amara vibe. Like that's the energy I'm getting. And
I agree.
From this all.
I agree. And also that Doug's face is my face as I listen to John vent about the book. I get very
guys. That's Doug's look most of the time.
No, I agree. That panel for Amara definitely is probably one of my favorites of this whole book. And again, just the detail of it, he's really crushing it. I mean, even Doug, even that close up of Doug is great. All right, yeah. So and essentially, she admits everything. So then at the end, they basically say, we need to get back to where we're from, and she says, "Don't worry, guys, I can get you back to Earth, no problem." And that's where she moves on with that. Before we get into those last pages, though, Chett, is there anything you want to add here between these few pages here? I like color usage and things like that.
From the moment they realize when Danny asks her to explain, I felt like everything was better explained than just these few panels. And yeah, that one panel with Amara, that is all Bob McLeod. It's like, I also like that Lila says, I pay my debts. So yeah, she's at fault. You can take my freedom and my life. That's a little bit high stakes. But I think if I was there mad enough, I'd be like, yo, get this bitch. She ran us around the planetary system just to hear her at a concert. And this started off as a concert. And look where we are now. But Doug, once again, I think Doug proves his worth in this book. And Warlock proves his worth. So you get, although you don't get the cohesive story we want, you get the missing pages and so forth that John would like to glue back together. You still get a decent story, minimally, but you still get enough of a story that you could take something from it. So you figured out a lot of things about the New Mutants themselves. You see them gain an ally in Lila Cheney because again, we see her show up a lot more in the books, even today. So on a grand scale, yeah, I think it worked, even though it didn't work fantastically. So that's the way I'll.
No, well said. I like it. Yeah. Conlon says gold tonight. John, talking about John. Yeah, I agree. Tony says Amazon, here I come. Yeah, exactly.
There it is.
John, anything else you wanted to add here before we get?
No, let's turn the page and see how
right.
Lila's great solution to all their problems plays out.
So yeah, they transfer back over to London just as promised. Just as.
So I don't know about
they asked, they delivered.
Back to were they in London? I don't think that's
nope. That's just it.
She got continents wrong.
Yeah,
I don't know what's happening.
Backwards.
I'm fairly certain that they're not dressed for that weather. Certainly not Sam.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, certainly not. they're not ready for that over there.
Well, no, Sam he could get away with that in England. The Clash, man.
Oh, there you go. Oh yeah, there you go.
He could get away with that. London calling, baby.
Yeah. Well said. Yeah, so we get the team getting transferred back to London, but they weren't at London, and that was they even said they're like, hey, listen, you got us back to Earth, we appreciate that, but we actually need to get back to the States. Could you get us there? And she basically like says no, and in like a almost like laughter smiley way, like, nope, sorry, this is all I can do, but good luck. Like, this is where I'm from.
We don't have money, passports, a change of clothes,
and look at Danny's face right here,
nothing.
John. Danny's face next to you there. She is so annoyed.
I want Amara's face back from the last page. I want it back. I want everybody wearing it.
Yeah, the girls are furious with Lila at this point. And Sam is just like in awe still. Like that's just the best part.
The most baffling. Yes.
Right. So yeah, they have a little, they're like, oh great, we're gonna have to make a phone call. They all walk away except for Sam. He kind of stays behind and has this little heart to heart with her. He basically says, come on, you could pick any guy, you could have any guy you want, and you're just like, why me kind of thing. And she's like, yeah, well, that's why you should smile, dummy. When I say I like you, you got to believe it. Like, so they try to have a little
she's calling him a dummy.
Yeah, she's like, you idiot.
She's trying to create a pet, not a partner here.
Hey, and Sam is willing.
My favorite part of this whole conversation is when he's like, oh fuck, your band. We totally lost your band on that planet. Yeah. And she's like, yeah, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. Yeah, don't worry about them. I killed one of them, and the others, they're used to this. It is
so true. I was like, what do you mean they're fine?
They're used to this. This is the norm. This is how we get from gig to gig. They're going to show up at some point. They'll figure it out. They've got some snacks. They'll figure this out. So these are all Sam.
So glad
red flags, buddy. These are the reddest of flags.
Hey, he's young. He's got to learn the hard way, John. We all
clearly he is, because he goes for that tongue action right there. He's like,
and look at Roberto's reaction. How does she like him more than me?
Yeah, so Roberto,
he doesn't realize the absolute death trap that Roberto just dodged.
Yeah, he does.
Your buddy just landed on that grenade for you.
Yes. And the way I took the kiss at the end was really just Sam trying to block her from biting his ears. That's what I took that as. So good move on Sam to think on his feet. The ending here is a fun little ending with Roberto and talking to the girls and just being like, do you all see this? Like, what is going on? How can a girl pick him over me? He's just like blown away. And
the very last words in the caption are the best.
Roberto, when he says, you mean my supposed friend turned on me too? He goes, by all the saints in heaven, by all the sinners in hell, truly there ain't no justice.
The caption colored word the 3 months later.
Yes,
that's funny.
Yeah. So 3 months later, Lila's latest single rockets to the top of the charts, making Roberto feel even more miserable, for it's a love song entitled Sam. Yeah, that was great. And that's how the issue ends right there. That is how it ends. And just in time for Ruben Guzman in the chat, Cowabunga, my friend. He goes, Sam just has bigger cameras. I walked right into that one. So we're at the end of the issue. Let's get
Thank heavens.
Yeah, let's get some final thoughts.
I'm cutting in front. I don't care. I'm cutting in front.
Please do.
I love that Rain is not jealous. This is a writing choice I sign off on wholeheartedly, because we've seen her be jealous of Sam many times in this original set of issues from New Mutants. But to see her watch him make out with this tramp, and she's like, good luck with that VD, buddy. Like, she's like happy. She's giggling. She's like, oh, it's so funny. She knows this is not working. This is not gonna
I can hear her now. Oh, I've saved me loins.
Right? She's like, no, great choice, Sam. Like, there's zero jealousy, and I like that move. It's a very good move. Only Bobby is jealous. That I love that. So that was a nice note where she wasn't freaking out. So I dig that.
These comments.
I like Adam makes us up, says, help wanted, drummer. Please provide references. Background check. No aliens. Yeah, love it. Chett, any thoughts here on how the issue ends before we do a final wrap up? Any issues?
I guess the way it closed out, I guess you had a lot of questions, you had a lot of answers, and then you had ultimately the boy meets girl and likes girl and she likes him, and let's close it out there. I think it closed out pretty simply. It's an annual, so you got to expect it to end here.
Right.
But I think it could have been a little bit more involved in terms of explanation and certain things, like John's been complaining about most of the night. I got to agree with him. It's missing a lot of there's gaps here and there that could have been better explained. And transitionally correct to give the reader a smoother into the next scene.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with the beginning. The middle, I guess I could live with it, and the end, I guess I have to accept it. So I'll give you my grade. Am I supposed to give my grade here?
No, not yet.
Okay, but that's my overall being is it's a beautiful cover and it's got beautiful art.
Yeah, but
it could have been more explicatory and to match the cover and the art.
Yeah. Well said. I mean, I'm with you guys. I think, like the ending of this is just kind of something you laugh at. And clearly this has all just kind of been a wacky, fun, lighthearted kind of read. But you do get moments in this book that are connecting the characters or, shedding some light on their abilities, which again, Warlock being so new and Doug being so new to the team, like these are definitely some parts that I'm well interested in and
exactly.
would probably be the reason why I would recommend people to still give this a read. So I wouldn't want to skip this. And look, I mean, at the end of the day, a ton of fun poking fun at it and a lot of laughters along the way. So with all that being said, John, final thoughts and just how would you grade this overall?
Wait, John, I want to sit back for this.
Yeah. It's not getting a passing grade. I'm just telling you right now. They're gonna have to repeat. The summer school is in their plan for the future. There's definitely a concern. The diplomas are not getting handed out that day.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know. It's hard. Bob McLeod, he's going to graduate school. He's going on. He's got a success here. So this is the tale of two books in some ways, because Bob McLeod does a ton of heavy lifting here and really tries to make this work. And Bill Sienkiewicz crushed this cover. So if you took away the word balloons, you'd probably be just as confused as you were reading it with the balloons. So, at that point, it's a split the difference. Is it an 8 on the art and a 4 on the story, and you're getting a 6? Like I'll throw a 6 at this.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And I'll remind everybody in the chat, feel free to put your grades in the comment section below as well. Curious where everybody kind of stands with this if you were to grade this on a CGC scale. So John's going with a 6 overall, kind of mixing the story and art together.
John knows what's coming. He's like looking at me, waiting to hear my grade because he knows I'm fighting with myself.
Okay, my boy Carlos just walked in by and asked, "What's going on there?" Hi, Carlos. Candace Carlos who said hello.
There's no explaining it, but there's just no explaining it.
Bobby says, "Rock and roll love story in the stars." There you go. Go ahead, Chad. What are your final thoughts? How would you grade this issue?
I may have given this a higher grade when I was a kid. I remember reading it and liking it a whole lot more than when I read it earlier again today. Yeah. Back then, I probably would have given
it all the joy out of it. All the juice out of it. I get accused of this a lot in my life. I'm just saying. John, stop overthinking it. It's a comic book. I hear this. I hear these things.
Back in the day, I think I would have given this, from the day I bought it, I was in love with the cover and the splash page. Boom. I would have given this book a 9.0 back then.
Yeah.
After reading it again today, I'm barely clinging to a 6. Barely. And it's because of everything's here, there, everywhere at once. The art, obviously, is the biggest constant. Every now and then you get a nice boom. That's a great portion of it, like the Doug and Warlock and Amara's, I guess the Professor and Sam in the beginning and all that. But this book it's drowning a little bit. And although I have it in a 9.8, I'm going with a 6.0 here. It's not very powerful in terms of grade over. And you guys know me. I'm usually up there 9.2, 9.4, 9.6. I can't do it this time.
And obviously, when Lila Cheney shows up in the MCU, you're gonna cash that chip in. That's what I'm saying.
More than likely, yeah. A matter of fact, I love the cover so much. I do want to get it signed by McLeod and Sienkiewicz.
Yeah,
I think that would look amazing with silver signatures and
100%.
But other than that, I don't think I need to open it ever again, online or physically.
Yeah, that's fair. A couple other good comments here. Conlon says, "Well, the cover was awesome."
We've all got that right.
Candace says, "I give John's comedy a higher rating than this issue."
Candace, I was thinking that early.
So yeah, I have to say, I actually thought, John, that you were going to go even lower than a 6. I think a 6 is very fair for this issue. And again, I understand what you're, the art side of it. I could see that definitely being a big part.
I usually score a story as being more important than the art. That's just me as a reader. I tend to fall into that side of it more. So take that how you want to take it.
No, I think it's a really fair. I thought you were going to go dip into the 4s there for a second, but
that's what Claremont got. He got the 4. I gave him.
Oh yeah, he got the 4.
He got the 4. McLeod got the 8.
Yeah. So I
was going on averages. Lila Cheney got the 6.
Well, Lila Cheney got she got something.
I'm gonna give this a solid 7. I think for me, this is a solid 7. And while yes, there's a ton of things that are wrong with this issue as far as essentially missing pages go, I had a ton of fun with it. I was just cracking up with the stuff with Bobby and being the whole issue. Bobby's like, wait a second, hold on. There's a girl prefers another guy to me. Like he could not get over it the entire time. So I love that aspect. I love that we get the highlights, the kind of MVP moments for guys like Warlock and guys like Doug Ramsey. Again, very new to me, just from this time period of what we're reading. So it's exciting. It's exciting to see some of their abilities and what goes on. We even got Ileana and the Soul Soul Sword coming out, even though, we learned a little bit about that and kind of the tricks that she can still kind of play with that, which I thought was cool. Again, you guys know me. I love these smaller bits like the Danny Moonstar stuff, her kind of struggling and the pain she's going through. Again, we're not too far away from the Demon Bear stuff that we just got off of. So very much understand still what she's going through. So for all that, I love that Claremont will still continue to plant seeds, continue to connect little bits and pieces here and there. So for that, I will, and like I said before, I will always recommend this book to a person. I think that at least as far as getting the story and, kind of just seeing these characters as you read through this, if anybody's ever going through, like this omnibus, certainly this is still, I think, an issue you should read. And then on top of that, like just picking at it the way we did tonight, I think is also what kind of helped, oddly enough, bump it up to a 7 is because how much entertainment we got out of picking at it, and especially John going off. So so that's where I'm at. But I love it. Bobby here, he gave it a 9.6. I love you, Bobby. You're the man. 9.6 with white leather pages.
White leather pages.
You gotta love it. I love it. Got to love it. So there it is. Appreciate everybody who's hanging. Don't go away yet. We have questions here before we wrap things up. So thanks everybody who's sticking around here. Let's get into the questions here. I'm sorry, not questions. Let's do the money first. See, John, I'm rusty here again. The New Mutants Annual 1. So first Lila Cheney, mutant with the ability to teleport and rock out is what I had listed here. There's a ton of first appearances really, and last appearanrances like our boy Phil. So maybe that's included. Maybe
last appearance.
We gotta hit up Stevie. Tell him that we gotta highlight Phil. What's his last name again? Phil. What was Helvinus.
Sure, whatever.
So what is it? Syphilis?
9.8.
There it is.
9.8 fair market value from Go Collect is set at $90 right now. Again, this is over the span of like 2 years. Recent stuff is collected, and then it drops significantly to $36 for a 9.6. So this is out there. It's pretty easy. Census is 668 for 9.8. Obviously Chett is one of them that has one. So for the cover, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind having a 9.8. I don't know if I'd buy it for $90 per se, but if I saw a 9.8 for like $70 or something like that, I think I might consider.
I think I paid literally like $60 a year and a half ago.
Yeah, that's great. I would do that all day. Any thoughts here, gentlemen, on the key elements or the numbers?
I guess it's worth its weight in story. I guess it's a 40-year-old book now.
Yeah. This is one, John, you probably want to get sealed up, right, John?
like Han Solo in the Carbonite.
Yeah, exactly.
And I never use Star Wars anything. So
That's right. Chet getting off script here for Chet.
Sorry, I got a headache saying Star Wars.
All right, let's get into these questions here. Again, just a reminder, we are looking for 2 correct answers. These are questions based on last set of issues, last episode, which was 2 weeks ago, technically, on John's channel. So if you know the answer, write it in the chat. If you don't, but you see someone else that might write the right answer, you think that's right, you can copy and paste their answer. Or the other way you can get your name in the chat is or on the line tonight is if you give us a funny incorrect answer and Chet chooses it as what he thinks is the funniest incorrect answer of these questions. So John, I will pass it to you first to kick off the first question.
So these came from the issue titled Slumber Party, which was last on my channel. This is the Warlock coming to Earth storyline where the girls are having a sleepover with all the neighbors in their area. I hope I didn't give away anybody's questions. I did not. Thank goodness. Phew. Bad recapping. If I gave away the answer to the question. Woo, I had to double check. No, I did not. Okay. Repeatedly through the issue, we were joking about how Sam kept making a strange or bad choice repeatedly, having opportunities to rectify this mistake, but repeatedly choosing kind of not to. What was Sam? What was his faulty choice that he was making in that issue? Consistently, we were just kind of, and he even commented on it a couple of times himself. So Alfred Hitchcock? No, that's not the correct answer. But I like that you're making stuff up.
Small towel, dude.
Is that what's the punctuation doing in that sentence? I don't know. There's no sentence there, buddy. Yeah, I'll give it to both of those guys. Yeah, he kept wearing a really tiny towel and not putting any clothes on. Like he was repeatedly naked in that issue. So I'll give it to Tony.
Yep.
Even though it's a little bit of a stream of consciousness writing going on there. A little bit like that. What is up, Cliff, in the chat? What's going on, Cliff?
Cliff says, I need his number. Remember, we're looking for funny, incorrect answers if you don't know the correct ones.
Let's see.
Rushing into hit someone invulnerably. Yeah, I mean, he does that a lot.
He does that a lot. Yeah. Oh, Bobby. Come on, Bobby. Too soon, Bobby. Too soon.
Ryan says it was Nude Mutants.
The Nude Mutants, yes. It was the Nude Mutants last week.
That's a good one.
Oh, Bobby. He kept betting on the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, no, that would not have been a good.
It's not a good choice. It's not a good choice.
He kept wearing Diana Ross wigs. I mean, that happens. Tuna and peanut butter, no bueno.
I mean, there's lots of protein in there, at least. I don't know what else you're going to get for your... Well, that's rough.
Tony says, cannonballs. I don't know if he said it like that, but that's how I read it.
I'm assuming. That was fair. He didn't have punctuation, but you added it.
Yeah.
Any of those you like there, Chett?
The funny one, and tuna and peanut butter.
Tuna and peanut butter from Conlon.
It's kind of gross, but hey.
I mean, it's disturbing.
Whenever any of you tries that recipe, let me know. I'll be sure to put it on the menu somewhere.
That gives Conlon an even 30 entries into the giveaway.
Oh, nice.
I must have 7. I must have 3 total this year.
4 off by 1.
Come on, Chett. All right. My first question of the night is, let's see. What did Rain do to Sam when she answered the door and Sam didn't recognize her? It was a sleepover party and the girls had dressed her up a little bit, and she was the one that answered the door. Sam had come knocking on the door. He didn't recognize her. He asked for Rain or anyone else that he knew. And what did she do? What did she do when she saw him there? All right. I mean, I'm gonna give these. Yeah. I mean, essentially punched him is what I was looking. Oops, sorry. Is what I was looking for. So Tony. Yeah, I mean, it was a low blow for sure. So punched him in the balls. Ryan says punched him. Yeah, I'm going to give it to Tony and Ryan, John.
All right, you got it.
That is a plain as day nut shot as far as I'm looking. I remember that.
Yeah.
My man's on the floor like this.
Yeah.
She got him good.
Yep. Yeah, Ryan said she hated him and punched him. Candace kicked him in the cannonball. That's
the most accurate answer. Woof.
She said, like the great and talented Pat Benatar, hit me with your best shot.
There you go, Bobby. And you can cut off the funny answers there. That's mine.
See, playing with the judge.
Bobby.
Right, smart man.
Smart play, buddy.
All right, John, go ahead. What's your second question?
All right, my last question has to do with the crashing of Warlock into the lake. Bobby and Sam find this funky meteorite that is Warlock at the bottom of the lake. What do they decide to do with it? What do they do with this recently crashed to Earth meteorite that they discover at the bottom of the lake?
Yes, Matt. Always play to
the judge.
Ryan, thanks for dropping the line, my friend. Thinking of Roy Kirk.
Appreciate you, sir.
Roy Kirk.
What do they decide to do with the meteorite that they find in the ocean? Lick it, says Bobby. I don't remember that, but I mean, that's a way to go. That's a way to go. Contact high.
Colin said, hit him with the stone cold stunner. Oh, maybe that might have been for the last question.
That might have, maybe, I don't know.
Or maybe this one, I don't know.
But I got two correct ones.
Skinny dipping, yeah.
I got Old Wolf and Magic Lasso again.
Yep. Pouring it into the mansion, yep. And then, yep.
Take it to the lab.
Mm-hmm. Candace says nothing smart. Nothing smart. Candace, you've been on fire.
This is true. They did nothing smart.
Let's be real. Are we bringing that anywhere after finding it?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I mean, I'm leaving it. Yeah, it can stay at the bottom of the ocean.
That's what I'm saying.
Ryan said, did a square dance around it.
That might have worked.
Yeah, I mean, Sam. If there's anything Sam knows square dances and Dyson spheres. That's what the man knows.
He really knows those Dyson spheres. Yeah,
and not how to turn yet in these issues.
Yeah. He's
not
getting that.
Any of those you like there, Chett?
We got to go with the square dance for Rye. Yeah,
there it
square
is.
dance works.
Lasso.
Very nice. All right, last question here for the evening. During the girls' house party, the sleepover, what did the girls think Lockheed was? There was a moment where they actually had gotten a chance to see Lockheed, and I think her name was Marcy, was asking one of the New Mutants, "Oh, that's cool. What is that?" And she explained what it was. What did the girls think that Lockheed was? Oh, they already answered. There you go. You got Tony. Yes, it was a hat. It was Ileana's hat, and Candace also said a hat. Yeah, so Tony and Candace are on the board.
Got him.
Bobby says, "Yeah, the Dyson Sphere square dance. Yeah, from the last one." Remember, looking for some funny ones. What did the girls think Lockheed was? Adam said, "A weird looking cat." Yeah, I mean that's fair. They were scratching their head on that one. And they thought Rain was a dog. You know, they were like, "Oh, yeah, doggy Rain." Bobby says, "A Muppet." Could be.
Give me a few more funny answers. Let's go.
The answer to why do fools fall in love? Magic Lasso says. Very deep, very deep. Lalandra's wig. Candace says Lalandra's wig. Yeah.
Candace is the winner here.
Good way to spin it. Oh, Candace is the winner. All right.
Yeah, the Lalandra's wig is good.
Ain't no more. All right, gang. We're just about 2 hours here. Appreciate everybody hanging. Chett, we want to thank you, my friend, for joining us as always, and for always supporting the channel and the show and being part of this.
It's always fun, man. I love doing this. I know my time has diminished a lot recently, not being around and stuff like that, but hopefully soon I'll be able to get back on the ball and join you guys a lot more and answer a whole lot more questions and claim the prizes that are rightfully mine.
See, there's the competitive Chett I know.
Hail to the Redskins.
Rightfully.
I'm sorry.
Rightfully his. Well, we appreciate you. And again, anybody who has not been connected with Chett yet, make sure you do so. Chett's information is in the description below. Yes. And then also follow John. Make sure you're following him because we'll be over on his channel next Tuesday, 9:00 Eastern, with another episode for Omni X-Men. So be ready for that. John's been putting out a ton of content in general. I'm trying to keep up with just with my shorts alone. My reels is the only thing I'm trying to keep up with.
And I'm now, I think, 98 away from 3,000 subscribers.
Oh,
so there will be a big giveaway party, hangout, celebration when that happens. But we're probably still a good month or so away from that. So, definitely,
congratulations. That's awesome.
Keep an eye out for that. Yeah,
I'll be there from the beginning. I saw those.
Remember us, little people.
I apologize for that.
What did Candace just say? I thought I saw my name. What did she say?
Oh, that was Matt. Matt said, "Stay out of the gym and get back to the chat with us, Chett." Oh, no guns, sir. No guns here. No guns.
No guns.
Yeah.
I actually went to the gym before the show.
There you go. One last thing that I'm going to leave everybody with that I shared with the guys earlier. I'm going to drop it in the chat. If you guys get a chance, the chat, if you get a chance, watch this video. It apparently was done 9 to 10 years ago, but it was a group of fans who put together this really cool kind of music video that's all based on this particular issue.
It blew me away when I saw it earlier. I was like, wow, it was perfect.
I thought it was amazing. So at the end of this show, as you guys are logging off, take 5 minutes, whatever it is, and watch it. It's really cool, especially now that you read the issue, you know what it's about. Pretty dang accurate, and clearly they had a lot of fun. So just wanted to drop that in there. I don't have any connection to them or anything, but check out the channel and that video. But
it worked.
Yeah. Otherwise, so we're gonna wrap it up. But appreciate everybody for coming and tuning in. Or if you're watching the replay, make sure you smash the like button on the way out. And until next time, we will talk to you later. Peace.